Hey everybody, welcome to the Canning Nana. Today we have a really special series starting that I've promised you guys. You can barely see me, but that's okay, because I want to focus on the food anyway. The food in front of you right here. So we are starting the Prepared Pantry Series that I promised you guys, and it's going to be all about food storage. And in series number 1, today's series, we're just going to cover the basics of basic food storage, what to store, and how to start a food storage. So why have a food storage? For one, after what happened last year, I think we're all a little bit better versed in what we're lacking. If you had to run out to the store at all last year for anything, then if you were out of, say, milk or eggs, things that we all need to go to the store for, right? Toilet paper, napkins, paper towels. Those are things that we were lacking in an emergency, and we all had to run out to the store for those. So what I want to do is start this series on becoming self-reliant, becoming self-sufficient, and shopping in your own pantry, in your own store, just in case of an emergency. So this today is going to be pretty quick. It's not going to be a long video. I am going to be watching it with you, so you guys can ask me any questions that you want in the chat. And once the video premieres, we'll be starting the chat, answer questions away, and then at the end, I'm going to try to answer all of your questions. I might even go live after that, depending on how many people we have in the chat. So if we have a lot of questions and a lot of people, then I'll do a live afterwards, and we'll get you guys on there and ask some questions. If not, we'll just do a live tomorrow and ask some questions then and answer questions. So food storage is really important, not just because of what happened last year. There's things that happen every day. You might lose your job. Somebody in your family might get ill. You might have to take care of them, or you yourself might get ill. If you're the primary shopper and primary cook, then what happens to your family if you're out of commission for a while? So I've been through that. I have a bad back. I've got some things wrong with my back, and on any given day, I might not be able to get out of bed. It depends. Some days I'm good, some days I'm bad. Some days I plan all these canning things, and then I walk in the kitchen and I can't do any of it. So, things happen and you have to plan accordingly. So what we're going to talk about today is a 72-hour kit. We're going to start really, really slow. We're going to do just a 3-day kit. That's all. So what I want you guys to do, this is your homework. What I want you to do is write down 3 meals that your family likes, okay? And that are easy to do and that you could do a food storage with. Don't plan fresh vegetables, nothing fresh. Totally go with what you can buy or what you have on hand and what you can make out of those meals or out of those supplies that you have for 3 meals 3 times a day, okay? Or 1 meal 3 times a day for 3 days. So that's a 72-hour kit. And what we like to do is you can do this and put it in one of those 18-gallon bins. Keep it in your car, just in case. If you have a flat tire, if you're stuck, you'll have food. Not that you're going to be stuck for 3 days, but just in case you're out there and there's an earthquake, like here in California, you will be prepared for anything. Or if somebody you see on the side of the road needs food, you're going to be prepared to help them, okay? So it's not all about you and your family. It's about helping others as well. And I know there's going to be a lot of controversy about that. I'm all about helping others. I don't just store for me. If somebody that I know and love or one of my family members needs food for any reason, they can shop in my pantry, in my cupboards, and get what they need. I'm not a prepper where I have guns and everything like that. I don't keep it just for me and my family. So if I know someone in need, then I'm going to help them. Case in point is in 1994, we had the big earthquake, the Northridge quake here in California. And where I was living was about 60 miles away from family members down in the San Fernando Valley. And they were cut off from, there was no trucks able to get in or anything. So we made our way down there, and I've had food storage for the last 30 years, some sort of food storage. Now it's much bigger because I do canning. But we were able to bring meats and vegetables and milk. They were being charged $5 a gallon for milk, which back then it was maybe $1.19 for a gallon of milk. We were able to bring them water. They had no fresh running water whatsoever, and we were able to help. So, it's things like that. If maybe something in your area, like happened in Texas, you need to be prepared for any kind of an emergency. So number one, you want to store water, okay? So water is recommended for 1 gallon per person per day. You might think that that's a lot. I tend to drink a lot of water, so I store about 2 gallons per person per day. And right now it's just me and my husband, so we're pretty good on water. At any given time, we have about 25 to 30 gallons of water on hand. And that's just in water bottles. So we need to get a big storage, so a big water storage. So that's in one of my goals. Oh my goodness. So water, you need something to run electricity, like a generator. Generators are number one. If you can afford a generator or put one on layaway, I would definitely do that. Those are good for any kind of emergencies. A hand cranked radio, just to have on hand in case of an emergency. But we're going to get into all of that stuff as the series goes on. Today, I want you, like I said, your homework is to write down a day's worth of meals. So 3 meals that your family will eat, times that by 3, and make them all different, okay? Like 6 different meals, and put them write them all down. Start buying them as you go to the store. What you want to do is what I do is, if I need salt, I will buy 1 for now and maybe buy 2 for storage. Salt is really cheap. You could buy a year's supply of salt if you needed to at once. Salt is like 39 cents for this right here. Spices. You want to have spices on hand. Salt and pepper are really good. And other spices. You want to store what your family eats. You don't want to store wheat and grains that you have to grind up if you don't already use that stuff, or if you don't have a grinder to do that. I know a lot of people 30 years ago used to store, in my church, used to store wheat and different grains, and they had no way of using them. They just stored it to store it, to be prepared, but they didn't know how to use it. So make sure that you're storing what your family likes to eat. I store and can. So most of you guys, most of my subscribers here know that I can. I'm a canning channel. That's what we do, right? So I can a lot of my, or most of my vegetables and fruits. My meats, I like to have these on hand. Chicken, this is beef, so that I have proteins. I can pork. Here is my green beans right here. And I make my own sauce. This right here is just tomatoes, but I do make my own sauce, and I'll be doing that in a video pretty soon. And then these are beans. So I'm going to go into depth on the things that I can and how to store things and dehydrating and things like that too. Basics. So if you eat peanut butter, when peanut butter goes on sale, buy an extra one. Put it away. Put it in your food storage. This is all good stuff to have. So after you do your 72-hour kit, I want you to go through and make 7 days worth of meals, okay? And then times that, 3 meals a day for 7 days, times that by 4. or 2 if you're starting out slowly, which a lot of us are. I don't want you guys to go to the store and buy a year's supply of food and be in debt to your food. We don't want that. So we're going to start slow. 72-hour kit. Then you can go to 2 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on how you feel. So the easiest way to figure that is, like I said, plan your meals out. Plan your meals out for 2 weeks. Plan your meals out for 4 weeks. And then times that by however many days you're going to store for. So 3 meals a day for a week. Okay, that's 21 meals. If you eat at home all the time, that's not considering eating out or anything. This is for an emergency, guys. Okay, so that's how you kind of plan your week. You just times it. So 7 days, 3 meals a day. Times that by 2 to get your 2-week supply. Times that by 4 to get your 4-week supply, and so on. How much you need is going to depend on your family. And I have a ton of you guys, over 200, have emailed me asking me, because I said that I was going to do it, calculate a food storage plan for you. And I'm happy to do that. I have started, and I will be getting to everyone. It does take me a little bit of time, so hang in there with me. But I will send that out to you. If somebody wants that, just email me at thecanningnana@gmail.com, and I will be happy to put that together for you. Okay, so you want to store the basics that you use. So like flour, sugar, oils, yeast to make bread, because there's not going to be fresh bread. Rice is another one. Beans, pasta, oatmeal, pancake mix, peanut butter, jelly, coffee, tea, if you drink those, cocoa, drink mixes like iced tea, lemonade, or those little boxes of powder, or the little Mios that are liquid that you put into your beverage. You're going to kind of get tired of drinking water. I know last year we went through a lot of lemonade. We had some flavored waters that I had, and then we had a lot of water, and luckily we have a place that we go to refill our water bottles right down the street here, so we were never without water. But other things did get really hard to find, like eggs and milk. Those were lacking. So what do you do in that case? Powdered eggs, powdered milk. Also, I store evaporated milk like this. Let's see. Okay. What else? Some of the basics that I store. I have pink salmon, crab meat, tuna fish. I don't know if I grabbed a tuna fish out. I don't think I did. Tuna fish, some chili. These are all good for a 72-hour kit, you guys. Some corned beef hash. All you need to do is add eggs. If you have powdered eggs, put them in here. It's a meal. Boxed rice, long grain rice. This is one of my favorites. If you have a can of chicken and rice, that's a meal right there. For breakfast, steel cut oats or rolled oats, some pancake mix, and you can buy however, like the rolled oats and the pancake mix, the flour, the rice, the sugar. I store them all in 5-gallon food grade buckets. So you can get those at any home improvement store. You can get them at Walmart. You can also ask a donut shop or a locally run business if they have any that you can have. Usually they throw them away or they give them away. So if you can ask, especially donut shops, they will give you their food grade buckets for free. You have to catch them at the right time. And then you want a seal on it. I have gamma seals on my buckets. The buckets that I use my buckets, those are my everyday food storage. So it's both short-term and long-term storage. And we're going to get into that as well during this series. I know I'm going through this very, very quickly, but this is just to summarize what we're going to be talking about. And then I'll go into depth about what to do with all this stuff once once you have it. Pasta, and all of this, like pasta, your ramen, if you have a food saver or even Ziploc bags, you can store a few of them in these with some water. That's great for a 72-hour kit as well. So for us, in case we lose power, we have a barbecue. We also have a camping grill with 2 burners that I can also can on. If our power goes out for more than 3 days, I'm going to lose everything in my freezer because my storage is my home canned goods, my dehydrated goods, my freezer meals, and then my canned goods. So what happens to all of that meat and everything in my freezer if the power goes out for any length of time? You're going to have to can. And in order to do that, once after you learn to can, you're going to have enough cans and lids and seals and everything on hand just in case, and empty. You need those empty jars, and a way to cook that food and a way to can it. So that's something you guys might want to think about. Again, that's where a generator comes in, or a Coleman stove or something like that. So you don't want bland food. You're going to get tired of eating food. It's called food fatigue. So you want as many spices and condiments to ramp up your taste of your food as you can. One of those is barbecue sauce. Of course, mustard, mayonnaise, things like that. If you use those all the time, you want to store those as well. These are also good. This I shop a lot at Aldi, so this is from Aldi, and it's like a hamburger helper type meal. It's cheesy skillet. It says just add meat. You can add any meat. You can add ground beef. You can add chicken. You can add pork. You can add beef. Whatever you have. This is a ready-to-go meal. But just remember, if you're planning something like this or your rice, make sure that you also plan the water that it takes to make these. Same goes with your oatmeal and your pancakes or waffle mix. You want to make sure that you have enough water. So when you're planning when you're doing your meal plan, say you're making muffins and a packet of muffins, you're going to store those. If that takes a cup of water, you want to put that into your meal plan as well. So figure a cup of water. So when you go down your list, what you're making, say chili and cornbread, you have a can of chili, a box of cornbread, and then the water or egg or whatever that goes into that you need. So don't forget to plan that way. Another thing to do is to add some and more flavor. Canned mushrooms are good. I have canned green chilies, and you guys all know I also can and I freeze my hatch green chilies when they come out. So we're going to be talking a lot about canning our food, and how to can, what to can for the basics, what to dehydrate, how to use it. That's what this series is going to be about. For pasta or sauces, like I said, I make my own sauce. You can also make your own pasta out of semolina flour. If you had to, you can make it out of regular flour as well. You want taste, so I'm going to be doing a whole episode on the different spices that we're going to need. I have a lot of vanilla on hand, and you guys know that I make my own jam and jelly, but I always have a spare on hand. Grape is something that I don't have, so I have that. So I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions, and I really want to make this about you guys. So it doesn't really matter what I'm storing here. It matters about what you and your family need. And that's what you want to store. So it is so important to do. And I've got so many notes and so many things I want to tell you guys, but I'm going to run out of space on my phone in just a second here. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, or type them if you're watching this during the premiere. Type them and I will answer them as we go. One of the things we're going to be talking about too that's so important is canned foods are great, but in in case of an emergency or like what happened last year, you don't have access to fresh produce. You want to start a garden, and I'm going to show you guys the basics of gardening. Also, medication, everyday needs like soap for your body, soap for your hair, soap for your kitchen, cat food, dog food. You can't forget your pets, and you have to figure water for them as well. So we're going to be going over all of that. If you guys like what you see, please thumb up my video. Please share this, and let's get a lot of people on board to become self-reliant, you guys, okay? This is near and dear to my heart. I've been doing this for many years, and I want to show you guys all how to do this and how to become self-sufficient. And I really appreciate you all watching me. Let's learn together. If you have any tips or tricks that you do as we go along with this series, which is going to be several weeks long, please put them in the comments or email me, thecanningnana@gmail.com, and I'll answer anything. And if you have a really good tip, I will be happy to add that to my next video when we do it. So again, thanks for watching. Please thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and turn on the notification bell so that you're notified when I put up the new video. We will be doing lives to talk about this because there's a lot to discuss. So we need to do this live in order to answer questions and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot, and I think this is a really good time to start preparing if you're not prepared already. I've been prompted to do this in really ramp up my food storage in the last 10 years, and I'm really glad that I did. And I just did it little by little, and that's what I want you guys to do as well. As you can afford. I know there's a lot of people out of work right now, but it doesn't take a lot of money. I don't want you to go in debt to do this. You just need to provide for your family, even if it's just a 2-week supply. As long as you have a few days, 2 weeks, a month, you know, just build on your food storage, and you'll get there. You know, if you have a 3-month supply and that's your goal, that's amazing. That's more than your neighbor probably has. I know my church talks about food storage, and there's probably only about 15% of church members that actually have a food storage, and we talk about it all the time. So a lot of people just weren't prepared for last year. So I want to help as many people as I can to get the word out there on how to do this, the easiest things to store, how to store them, how to grow your food, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please thumbs up and share the video, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.